In response to the military's COVID-19 vaccine mandate, 4 Republican senators have unveiled a bill to prevent unvaccinated service members from being dishonorably discharged. Here to discuss is one of those lawmakers, Kansas Senator Roger Marshall. Senator Marshall, thank you so much for being with us. And I first want to start with what's going on in Capitol Hill. Congressional leaders say they have a deal to avert the government shutdown. There's actually a House vote scheduled on that bipartisan infrastructure bill scheduled for later today. Do you think they have the votes?
You know, Amy, I imagine Speaker Pelosi is the only person that knows the answer to that question. Regardless, our concerns are, even if they have the votes for the small infrastructure bill, we're much more concerned about all the taxing and spending that would go on in the bigger infrastructure bill. So we'll see. We're glad we're going to keep the government open today, though.
As a Republican, what do you make of the deepening division we're all seeing within the Democratic Party?
Well, I think this is fairly common. We saw it with our Tea Party and the Republican Party, and now we had this going on with the Democrats. There's traditional moderates, and there's quite a few people lining up pretty far to the left. They're having their own struggles right now, and we hope that they can come together so the country can come together.
Well, Senator Marshall, you are a physician by trade. You also served for 7 years in the Army Reserve. And I'm going to quote you here. You said, "American heroes should not be treated as felons because they refuse the COVID vaccine." It is important to note, and I know you know this, prior to COVID-19, there are certain vaccinations that are required for all service members. So why do you feel that this vaccine is different from other vaccines that have been imposed on servicemen and women?
Yeah, Amy, I think that's a great question and a fair question as well. And first of all, I want your listeners to know that I support getting the vaccine. I got the vaccine. My parents got the vaccine. Hopefully they have their booster shot by now. And all your senior citizen listeners should be out there talking to their doctor about the booster shot. But right now, 10 or 20% of our soldiers are not vaccinated. They're going to be separated and perhaps given a dishonorable discharge. If they're giving a dishonorable discharge, then that soldier is going to lose their benefits. They're going to have problems getting a job in the future. They'll lose their benefits of getting a free education as well as health care. Why this is different is, first of all, half of the soldiers are already immune from the virus. So why would we be forcing young, healthy soldiers who have minimal problems with the virus anyway, why would we be forcing them to get a vaccine, which does have side effects, especially for this age group? We're seeing a little bit high incidence of heart enlargement from this vaccine, especially for young, healthy males. So I encourage people to get the vaccine, but I still believe it's a personal choice, and we don't want those soldiers separated with a dishonorable discharge.
Senator, I know you've also been an advocate for those booster shots for seniors, and we know now that the FDA has authorized the Pfizer vaccine booster for all seniors. What are you doing in your state to make sure that seniors in Kansas have access to those booster shots?
Yeah, I'm absolutely certain that our pharmacists, our health departments have an adequate supply of these. We have been pushing the FDA for actually over 2 months now to approve it. So it is happening. It's all teed up. I have confidence that if folks call their own doctor, call their own pharmacist, if you're a senior citizen, that you should be able to get your vaccination now, your 3rd shot now.
Senator, before we let you go, I have a question for you. You were just one of 8 senators who voted to not certify the election results of 2020. I'm curious now, with time to reflect, with audits having been completed, do you still stand by that decision?
You know, look, I think that's been adequately litigated and investigated. I still have concerns about the integrity of 6 states and their election process. I think that they've made some significant improvements along that lines. And probably more importantly is that right now here in the Senate that I'm standing up to stop the federal takeover of the election process, very concerned about legislation that would take away the opportunity for states to demand voter ID as well. So, but it's time to move forward. It's time to move forward.
And do you recognize the election results of the 2020 presidential election, that President Joe Biden is in fact the President of the United States?
You know, of course, Joe Biden was sworn in. We've called him Mr. President since the moment he got sworn in.
Well, Kansas Senator Roger Marshall, we certainly appreciate your time. We know you got a lot on your plate, so thank you for being on the program.
Thank you, Amy.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.